Hey, hello everybody. It is Thursday, September 25th, 2025. Thursday afternoon, about 12:38 p.m. Central Time. My name is Sue Sanders, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. All I can say is, ladies, my month of September has been out of this world, busy, busy, busy. I had the big bike fest at Lake Ozark where there was thousands, and I mean thousands of motorcycles. I worked the bike fest for a Friday for Blue Star Mothers. Then I went to Jeff City on the next day and did the air show for Blue Star Mothers. And I have been busy every Thursday night. I designed these cards 2 weeks ago, and I had unexpected company. My son and his significant other stopped in to see us, and so I couldn't go live. Okay, so I'm not sure who's going to be watching this today. You might just watch it on the replay, which is fine. Please make a comment. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Hi, Karen. Welcome this afternoon. I didn't give a time when I was going to go live because I wasn't sure how my morning did. Oh, Dorothy kind of sort of did. Okay.
But your 10 minutes was longer than my 10 minutes.
Oh, so. Okay. So tonight's cards, I did design them like 2 weeks ago. So I had to go through this morning and try to remember what I had done, because when I designed 2 weeks ago and then try to make them, I don't remember what I've done and how I've done it. So we are going to be using the Light and Wonder paper. I love this Lights of Aurora, the paper pack. It is so pretty. We're not going to use the stamp set tonight or today, but we're going to use the die set, and we're going to use some of the beautiful gems from this suite of products. We are going to be using several other stamp sets that are online. Nope, I'm sorry, not necessarily online, but in the mini catalog. So we're going to be using Snowy Delights. We're going to be using these for greetings. And then we're going to be using the, that's the Light and Wonder, which is the dies. We're going to be using Snowflake Kisses, which is an online exclusive. And we're going to be using the stamps for the greetings, as well as the dies for this. We're going to be using the circle die and then the great big die, which I have attached, but it has some snowflake dies to it, a corner snowflake, independent, and then a nice label die with it. So we're going to be using the biggest stamp or die cut from that one. And we're also going to be using from the Delicate Pines, which is an online exclusive. We are going to be using one of the Snowy Delights decorative masks. I'm going to show you a technique today that maybe you can get some more use out of some of these stencils or masks that you have in your stash. So let's set these aside, and we're going to get right into it. I do have a meeting tonight for my Blue Star moms, and then I have Turkey Fest, which is a festival in Eldon, Missouri, that we're setting up, and I've made a bunch of sublimation products. So Dorothy and I have been busy making sublimation things and all kinds of different crafts this week. So this is the card that we're going to make, and it is a fun fold, and you only use a quarter sheet of the paper for the back piece of it. Okay. The directions are down in the description of this video. So it's got the measurements for you. Here is the die that we used from the Wonder, Lights and Wonder die set. So it cuts out one long piece, and we're going to cut that in half. I am using Azure Afternoon, and this is cut at 5 1/4 by, or I'm sorry, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Yep. All right. Then I have a piece of the Petunia Pop, and this measures 5 1/4 by 4. So that's going to get layered there. I have another piece of Petunia Pop, and this piece measures 5 by 3 1/4, and I have scored at 1 inch from the left-hand side of the 5-inch piece. Okay, so this gets scored at 1/4, and then this is how it's going to get folded over. So I'll show you how we're going to attach that. We have a piece of our Aurora lights, I think is what it's called. Lights of Aurora. Yes, the Lights of Aurora DSP. And this piece measures 3 1/4 by 4. Nope. 3 1/4 by 3 7/8. And that is just a little too wide for that. I'm going to have to trim that down. I don't know why that is, but it is. All right, let me get my other paper bits out of here. I have 2 pieces. So I took this one piece and I cut off from each side after I cut it down to my size, which is, this full sheet would be just about 5 1/4 probably. And then I sliced it into 3 sections so that I would get my total look of my paper. So you want to make sure that you know which direction your paper is going. Okay. So I did start out with a piece that measured 5 inches by, should be 3 7/8. Yep. Okay, so it's measuring 4 by 3 7/8. Then I took off a 1-inch piece from the left and the right and set those aside. So those are my side pieces. And this piece here needs to be 3 1/8 by 3 7/8. Let's see how far off I am. I am 1/8 of an inch off, so I did not trim this down when I was doing it. Let me get my trimmer here so that I can cut that off. And we're just going to cut it off on one side 1/4 of an inch, and our pattern will still join. It won't look that bad. Okay. Like I said, I designed this 2 weeks ago, and oh gee, forgot what I did. I don't know who else does that. If you design a card and then you forget what you've done with it. Oh yes, much better. Now that fits like it needs to. Okay. All right, so let's get our stamping done. I do have, this was one of the dies from the one of the die sets that I mentioned down below. Okay, and then I'm using Azure Afternoon for my ink. There we go. And on the front of this, I am just putting a warm hello. So this could be a Christmas card. Could also be a birthday card if you have somebody that celebrates a birthday in the winter. So a warm hello is going to go right here on this little tag. There's our little, yes, Karen, I don't remember what I did yesterday either. It's getting pretty bad. I do love these colors together. And you could even use Berry Burst if you wanted to use a darker color, but I like the lighter ones. All right, on the inside, we're going to stamp Sending You Joy and Many Delights. That's also going to be done in Azure Afternoon. Oops. Well, that didn't get turned out right, so we got to do that again. I messed up on that. And pressed it down all the way. There we go. All right, so that's pretty much all the stamping that we're going to do. Set that out of the way and clean my stamps. All right, now to assemble this card, it's really easy. We're going to take first off and put our base layer down on our card layer, our card base. And I am just using my liquid glue. Laying that down and centering it the best that I can. Oops, forgot something. Silly me, that's not the way I want to do it. See, I told you that I didn't remember how I did this. You're getting my silicone mat out here. Okay. This little mini card, once you get it folded, you want to take this part and you want to attach it to the back side of your layer. So all I did was kind of line that up to be as even as I could get it. You could measure it, but since